Hi Chase, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to analyze one of your swings here, and Chase, the first thing that I look for in hitters is balance. And for me, balance, Chase, is simply keeping the knees inside the feet and the head inside the knees. As you can see, you are in a very, very solid athletic balanced position. I like your starting point. The next phase that we go into, and let me just say, Chase, too, that setup is a style, it's a preference, and it's the area of hitting that you'll probably see the most variance in difference with all hitters of all ages, from little leaguers to major leaguers. But balance is critical, and it's key, and you're in a great position. So we're going to move forward to the next phase, which is the load-up phase. Okay? In the load-up phase, we're looking to get into a good hitting position. Hands are going to be over the back foot, which yours are. The knees will continue to stay inside the feet, which yours do. Okay? And your head is, we're gonna have as minimal amount of movement with the head as we possibly can. So here's your head, and as we start to go back, we want to try to keep that head in that box or in that circle. You're in a good position there. The next phase that we go to, I'm going to erase this, is the actual toe touch, heel plant. A lot of coaches, you will hear them say, get your foot down. That's basically where we're headed to next, okay? And when we get to that position, all right, your toe, heel have planted and landed, okay? We're looking for that same equal bend in both knees, okay? We're okay there. We're looking to make sure that the head or the knees are inside the feet. We're looking good there, and we're looking to make sure that the head at this particular point is somewhere over the belt buckle, okay? And you're in a good position there. You're really in an outstanding position. The things that I would point out to you, Chase, at this point are making sure that we're square to home plate. I want to be square with my hips, okay? And you can see you've got just a little bit of tilt there. We want to be square with our feet. Okay? We want to try to keep this plant foot or stride foot no more open than 45 degrees, and you can see you're at 67. So what we're doing, Chase, is we're opening just a little bit early and opening just a little bit too much with that front foot. When that front foot opens more than 45 degrees, we get a leaky front side. And when I say leaky front side, I'm talking about this front hip. Sometimes it can be this front shoulder, and that's always going to take our swing path to the pull side of the field, the left field side of the field. We want to try to keep the hips and the foot more squared up to home plate, okay? Especially that stride foot, no more open than 45 degrees. Okay, I'm going to erase this and we'll move a little forward. All right, the next phase is the back knee transfers energy. When you loaded energy into the inside part of this back leg, into this area right here. You're in a great position with that. Now as we start to transfer this energy, the first move with the lower half is transferring this knee into the front thigh, okay? As you can see, that knee's turning good. Your heel, your back heel is still pretty much planted into the ground. That's good. That's a good squared up inside the ball move with your lower half. That's going to put you in a good position. We want to make sure that, again, this knee This knee is staying inside that front foot. You're in a great position there. The only thing that I would point out to you is because of this front foot, we've gotten just a little bit leaky with that front hip. Okay? We'll continue to move forward in the swing process. As we get the lower half moving, we now get into what we call a connection. A connection is the hands start to move forward, all right, and they connect with our lower half. When we get to this connected point, Chase, we want to see shoulder, elbow, and back hip, or the stripe of your pants right here. We want to see that all in a line. As you can see, your back elbow has gotten ahead of you just a little bit, and as a result, your hands or your bat barrel is going to drag through the hitting zone just a little bit. Instead of this position, I'd rather see a straight line, shoulder, elbow, line of your back pants. That's the connected position. So as we start to move forward into our swing, okay, we will get our hands out front as you're doing, all right. It will help us to not expose the bad part of the bat too quickly. If we get too far in front, we're going to inside out the ball, or I will end up casting the barrel out around home plate, and I'll expose this bad part of the bat right here, the bat handle. We don't want to expose that too quickly. All right, so we'll move forward a little bit more. As we get into a contact position, moving forward, we're moving forward. You're in a good, strong position right here, buddy. I like what your head and eyes are doing, looking right down the barrel of the bat. Okay, we're in a very strong position with our hands. We're in a palm up, palm down position. All right, we've gotten a good full back turn with our backside to maximize power. We'll continue to run forward. All right, and at this position, we've gotten good full extension with the barrel of the bat past contact. All right, I want this barrel of the bat, I want it facing the pitcher after contact. That's a very good position. Good turn. We'll take it all the way to finish. Okay, get just a little bit of recoil in your finish, and that could be because that pitch was maybe on the inner third of the plate, and it could be because your front side wanted to leak open just a little bit. But rather than land and spin on this heel, I would rather see you keep the weight more on the inside part of this foot and more on the ball of the foot right down here. Okay, and that's going to allow for better balance and better extension through the swing. So to take this back, Chase, I think the biggest thing with you is just making sure that we stay square to home plate when we get to that toe touch, heel plant position, or that foot down position. We want to make sure that that front foot, your stride foot, is no more open than a 45. And Chase, the best drill for this, and a drill that I've used with major league hitters on many occasions, is just to set a tee on the outside part of the plate, just inside my stride foot, and make sure that my stride foot, when I get down, I get loaded, and I start my swing, or I start my move into the baseball, I'm going to check to make sure that this stride foot is not more open than 45 degrees. One of the things I can do to ensure that is just put a bat at 45 degrees and just make sure that I'm landing with that stride foot at 45 degrees, no more open than that. So, Chase, thanks for coming to our camp, and best of luck, buddy.